Welcome back. The CEO of Citadel, Ken Griffin, warning about the federal government's runaway spending in his 2023 investor letter. He writes this: the surging U.S. public debt is a growing concern that cannot be overlooked. We must stop borrowing at the expense of future generations. The Tax Foundation also finding that President Biden's $5.5 trillion in new taxes in his 2025 budget would cost the United States nearly 800,000 full-time jobs. It would reduce economic output by 2.2% and cut wages by 1.6%. Joining me now is Florida Congressman and House Appropriations Committee member Mario Diaz-Balart. Great to see you, sir. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Your reaction to the worries over debt and why it doesn't seem to resonate on the Congress?
Well, he's absolutely right. We all know that we have to tackle the increasing debt. We're going to have to reform mandatory spending, which is really the cause of that increased debt. And pretending that that's not a problem is absurd. Now, which is why, by the way, every day that goes by that we have Biden in the White House and that Trump is not there is a tragedy for the United States and a tragedy for the world. We have to control spending while at the same time, obviously, do some essential things like defense, because we also need to make sure that we continue to keep our country safe from threats around the world.
So how do you do that? I mean, you look at the most recent budget, and it's actually Biden's 2025 budget. When you compare it to inflation, it's a decline in defense spending. So how are you doing that?
Well, because we're going to have to ignore Biden's requested budget. He's cutting defense and wants to increase discretionary spending on everything else. He also wants to raise taxes. Look, again, if it's up to Biden, this country will be destroyed. That's why it's so crucial to keep the House in Republican hands to stop these tax increases and this crazy spending. But again, I emphasize, until we have Trump back in the White House, we're going to continue to have disaster after disaster.
So, I mean,
President Biden and the radical left don't understand the crisis that they are creating.
So Ukraine and foreign aid bills, the largest remaining legislative packages, are you expecting to see a deal to send money to Ukraine pass in the coming weeks?
You know, in the actual appropriation bills, we cut spending on everything having to do with foreign policy by 6%, which I thought was a really good issue. Now, you know, the speaker is talking about potentially having a loan for Ukraine. I think we have to look at ways that we protect our national security interests, confront the enemies of the United States, and obviously Putin is a strategic ally of China, of North Korea, of Iran, etc., but do it in a responsible way that doesn't bankrupt the United States. Can we do it? Yes. Is Biden going to help us do that? No, which is why it's important to lead, and Republicans are the ones that have to lead on foreign policy, domestic policy, to save this country from financial ruin.
Well, you're talking about financial ruin and you're talking about all this spending, but the priority for basically the Republicans has been secure the border, and you haven't been able to do it. You're the chairman of the subcommittee on the Department of State, Foreign Operations and Related Programs, providing funds for national security and foreign policy efforts. You've worked to ensure the subcommittee's bill for the fiscal year 2024 and try to establish U.S. leadership where it's lacking. Tell us, where is it lacking? This includes a 6% cut in funding compared to fiscal year's 2023 levels, Congressman.
It does. It's less funding, doing much more, much better with much less money. That's how we're supposed to lead. I'm very proud of that bill. We also have provisions, for example, that we cut money, eliminate funding for any NGOs that are participating or helping people violate immigration laws of the United States. We also eliminate money for funding for UNRWA, among other things. That's the way we're supposed to lead. I'm exceedingly proud of the Speaker of the House, Speaker Johnson, who has led in a real, frankly, in a serious way, in a conservative way, getting actual conservative victories. Now, first thing is we have to continue to do what we're doing, which is stopping the Democrats from raising taxes, from crazy spending. We've succeeded doing that in the House, only barely controlling the House. Imagine what we can do if we control the House, the Senate, and when, not if, when Trump is back in the White House. But all of us, we can't take it for granted. We have to work our tails off to make sure that Trump is back in the White House so we can turn this country around, save this country, and by doing so, frankly, saving the rest of the world.
Well, the Democrats are trying to stop that. President Biden's campaign is looking at Florida, writing this: Florida is not an easy state to win, but it is a winnable one for President Biden, especially given Trump's weak cash-strapped campaign and serious vulnerabilities within his coalition, writes a Biden campaign memo. The manager there also pointed out abortion will be on the ballot. Florida's Supreme Court clearing the way for a 6-week abortion ban going into effect in the next month. The Wall Street Journal out with an op-ed titled, "Will Abortion Make Florida a Swing State?" Congressman, what's your reaction to that?
Abortion is on the ballot, and so is marijuana. And here's the key. We can never think that the left, that the Democrats are just going to roll over and give up. We have to fight every community, for every state, for every vote. I'm confident that we're going to end up winning Florida, that Trump is going to win Florida again, but we have to not take it for granted. I will tell you, I'm focused on defeating the left, defeating the Democrats, re-electing Donald Trump as the next president of the United States, and all of us have to do our part. If we take it for granted, we lose. But I will tell you, in the state of Florida, we understand the damage that Biden and the Democrats have caused. I'm confident, because we're going to work, I'm confident that we're going to reelect. Not only are we going to reelect Trump winning Florida, I think he's going to win states that people aren't even looking at right now. But it's because we have to work it.
I understand, but what do you say when you say we have to work it, we have to work hard? What are you doing?
Yeah. Showing up, making sure that people understand what we stand for, and also make sure that people understand that the problems that they're suffering, inflation, price of gasoline, food, is not just because of, coincidence. It's because of bad policies by President Biden, by the left, by the Democrats. That is the reason that people are struggling, and people need to make that connection. It's our job to make sure that we get that message out.
All right, we'll be watching, Congressman. Thanks very much. Mario Diaz-Balart joining us this morning. Thank you, sir.